Some confusion surrounding the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. It is our top story here at noon. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Brooke Hash. Israeli officials say Hamas has gone back on part of the agreement, but Hamas says it remains committed to the deal. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet was supposed to meet today to help finalize that deal, but that has not happened. ABC's Rena Roy is following all of the developments.
A woman playing piano in Hostages Square in Tel Aviv. Displaced Palestinians huddling in a tent, staying warm by a fire. But in both cases, optimism that a ceasefire will actually begin on Sunday. Despite the two sides going back and forth, less than 24 hours after a ceasefire deal was announced. Israel saying Hamas reneges on parts of the agreement reached with the mediators and Israel in an effort to extort last-minute concessions. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's cabinet was expected to meet today to finalize the deal. Now it's unclear when that will be happening. Hamas, though, saying the organization is committed to the ceasefire agreement announced by the mediators.
We're confident that we're going to be able to start implementing it on Sunday. We're working with the Israelis on that very, very hard right now, but we're confident that we're going to get there.
Phase 1 supposed to kick in on Sunday, a 42-day ceasefire and the release of 33 hostages, starting with women, children, and the elderly. It's expected to include 2 of the 7 Americans captured and believed to still be alive. But for some families, the deal didn't come soon enough.
It is tragically, horribly too late for our only son, Hirsch. But we have become like family for so many of the 98 remaining hostages. We are so hopeful and optimistic. We need to remember this has to be rolled out until the very end, and each and every person comes home.
In exchange for the hostages, hundreds of Palestinian prisoners will also be freed. Israeli forces will pull back, and more desperately needed aid will flow into Gaza. For now, though, Israel has not stopped its barrage on Gaza. Nearly 75 people killed in the last 24 hours alone.
Negotiations for the rest of the deal will also begin during Phase 1, which, if successful, could mean the end of this long and devastating war that began more than 15 months ago. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Back here at home, we do have a traffic alert for you at the moment. Eastbound I-265 in southern Indiana remains closed due to a car fire. You're looking live around the Green Valley Road area of Floyd County. That's close to Paoli Pike, State Street, and Grant Line Road. The westbound lanes just reopened before noon, but again, eastbound remains off limits. This has been ongoing since about 8:45 this morning. All right, let's get a check of our forecast with meteorologist Sam Gabrielli, talking about blue skies behind you, but still really frosty today.
Yeah, that's right, Brooke. We're seeing temperatures overachieve today. We're actually almost near 40 degrees as we get the midday hours rolling. Get ready for it. We're going to be seeing plenty of snow melt each and every day as we cap off the week and head right on into the weekend. We're actually sitting at 39 degrees. It does feel like we're at 30, though, so don't be too fooled by that temperature outside. We can thank that north and westerly breeze for keeping conditions a little cooler with that feels like temperature. The nice thing is, though, there will be more of a southeast wind tomorrow, driving in temperatures even warmer than today. Here's actually a quick look at our satellite and temperature spread. Take a look at all this white you see. That's not clouds, that's snowpack still on the ground. So once again, we're going to be seeing that snow cover really get whittled away each and every day to cap off the week. And notice too, temperatures to the south where there's no snow cover on the ground by Bowling Green, they're in the middle 40s. So we're still actually dodging this system that's staying to the northeast of us, and we're going to be giving way actually to quite a bit of sun for the remainder of our afternoon. Now, since we are hitting 39 at noon, we're going to be upping our daily high temperature today in Louisville, likely surging into the middle 40s by about 4 p.m. later on this afternoon. So warming temperatures again tomorrow, back into the 40s both for Friday and on Saturday. So look out for the black ice potential and refreezing of the snowmelt into the nighttime hours. A quick heads up there. We're also looking at some weekend rainfall chances, in particular Friday night. And in a few minutes, I'll let everybody know if some of that rain will linger into our Saturday. The full forecast straight ahead.
Sam, thank you. An Orange County, Indiana sheriff deputy is still fighting for his life after being shot multiple times, once in the head. Sheriff Davey Henderson spoke exclusively with us about Deputy Zach Andrews' condition in a Louisville hospital. Our Jose Alonso and photojournalist Emma Gefter share his story.
There's still a chill in the air at the Orange County Sheriff's Department as Deputy Zach Andrew continues to fight for his life.
He's under sedation, he's going through treatments, so it's a long road ahead, and we're hoping that he can make a full recovery and someday maybe possibly come back to work here. That's our ultimate goal, is to get him back here, get him home.
Orange County Sheriff Davey Henderson says Andrew is one of 10 deputies who patrol the entire county. The sheriff describes him as a French Lick native, dedicated family man, and a Christian, always willing to help his community.
If I could put out a model policeman, his actions, his how he feels about his community, how he does things, it'd be Zach. He's a well put together young man, very polite, always willing to help.
Almost 2 weeks ago, Andrew pulled over to check on what he believed was a broken down car during his routine shift. Henderson says that's when 33-year-old Austin Shepherd exited the car and shot Andrew several times. He was then airlifted to a Louisville hospital. A 2-day manhunt ensued for Shepherd and ended with LMPD killing him in a shootout with police the next day. All the while, Andrew was in the hospital fighting for his life.
As to a motive of why Mr. Shepherd took these actions, we're not exactly clear yet. He just obviously didn't want to go back to jail and decided to make a bad situation even worse.
The same day Andrew was shot, Springs Valley High School held a prayer vigil for him. And across the street from the scene, a thrift shop owner placed a card for him on her prayer board.
What does it say about Orange County and their support for your department?
I think it just goes back to why I became sheriff of Orange County when I retired from the state police, because this is just the people here are just great. They support us, they take care of us, we take care of them.
As the deputy remains in critical condition, he has a whole community praying for his recovery. In Paoli, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 on your side.
The sheriff said they are actively collecting donations to benefit Andrew and his family during this difficult time through the Indiana Fallen Heroes Foundation. If you'd like to make a donation, we have a link on our website, WHAS11.com. The man who shot at Craig Greenberg as he was running for Louisville mayor has now asked for the minimum possible sentence. In new court filings, attorneys for Quinn Brown argue the minimum of 15 years is sufficient. In those filings, they also said it would be enough time for Brown to get his mental health under control. Brown admitted to firing the gun, but said he was not attempting to kill Greenberg. He pleaded guilty last July to interfering with an election and discharging a firearm during a crime. Brown will be in court next Friday for his sentencing. Several people impacted by the Givaudan explosion back in November are still recovering. Company representatives met with Clifton community members last night as part of ongoing efforts to connect with those who are still trying to pick up and rebuild. We spoke to one of them who said she's still living in temporary housing.
It's a lot of hurry up and wait. Again, that's not Givaudan's fault, but it being the time of year that it is, with the holidays, with the weather, everything is taking longer, and we all just want to be home.
She went on to tell us the meetings have been extremely beneficial for her and her neighbors. There will be another meeting next Wednesday, the 22nd. You can also call Givaudan with questions at the number there on your screen. That's 502-341-2903. The Louisville Medical and Education District, also known as LouMed, is reworking to reimagine Chestnut Street. The project extends from South 2nd Street to South Clay downtown, cutting right through Louisville's local hospital area. LouMed says it will work with Metro Public Works to improve the street with modern lights, streetscapes, and updated pathways meant to make the street more enjoyable and safe. $1.75 million in public funds are going toward the project. There's no timeline for when it'll be finished. After a 7-year legal battle, St. Stephen's Cemetery has agreed to pay a $1.25 million settlement to families in Louisville. The settlement marks the end of a long fight for victims who say they now feel a sense of justice. Well, Christina Seaton previously discovered her mother's casket was moved without her knowledge, and now she's encouraging other people who may have been impacted to take action. If you did business with the cemetery between January 1st of 1992 and February 24th of 2017, you may be eligible to file a claim. The deadline to file is March 24th, and we have a story on our homepage. very full day with 5 to 7 hour wait times at Kentucky driver's license offices. That's what we are hearing from those of you out for renewals and replacements. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet blames the weather for the hours-long waits. Our Ian Hardwitt and photojournalist Jessica Farley take us inside 2 of Louisville's locations.
At the NIA Center on West Broadway.
It was completely packed.
Larry Oakley showed up at 8:30 in the morning for a replacement ID. A sign said the Kentucky driver's license office had a 2 to 3 hour wait.
And that's a lie.
In total, he waited nearly 7 hours.
In Nashville, things goes a whole lot quicker than here, because usually you're in and out the door quick. Here, this has been ridiculous.
The website says walk-ins are still available as of noon, but if you actually show up, it says walk-ins are full, and as you can see, the office still has a line piling up.
Oh, it sucks. Yeah, because now I've got to drive all over the place. I was using my lunch hour to come here to do this, but there's a 2 to 3 hour wait already. I can't do that.
A KYTC spokesperson admitted there is sometimes a lag between what the website says and the office sign reads. The offices take appointments, but those need to be scheduled a month out. Saturday walk-in times are available from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. In a statement, KYTC wrote, midweek appointments were canceled due to major staffing reductions due to weather-related travel impacts. It is not uncommon to see a spike in customer traffic to offices following closures or network interruptions. They added that the new vision screening requirements that started this year had no noticeable difference on wait times. Crunching through the snow, Cedric Jean visited Bowman Field's license office for the second day in a row. He needs an ID for a flight to Puerto Rico with his girlfriend or else.
For a 30th birthday? Come on, man, I'll be sleeping on the couch for a year.
This location started a wait list, but Jean wasn't confident he'd be called by the end of Wednesday.
I tried to do it online, but it was kind of weird because I didn't have a vision information. Definitely understand why. Definitely, I don't mind applying to requirements, but I mean, it's just a time frame now.
A time frame he needs to beat if he wants to stay off the couch. In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS11, on your side.
KYTC encourages people to renew online or by mail. You'll just need to have a vision exam form filled out before you start that process. Also, the deadline to get your real ID is approaching very fast, and if you have travel plans, this applies to you. Beginning on May 7th, the TSA will require all domestic air travelers to show a real ID or another acceptable form of ID like a passport. Real ID is that identification that meets a newer federal standard for IDs like driver's licenses. They're designed to be more secure. Now, despite this deadline having been pushed back so many times in the past, TSA officials say this deadline will be it.
We are not looking at extending the deadline. May 7th, Real ID will take effect. So our objective right now is to make sure that we are as ready as possible and that travelers have their Real ID so they do not experience delays come May 7th.
Visit any driver's licensing agency website to find out exactly what documents are required to obtain a Real ID. At a minimum, you must provide documentation showing full legal name, date of birth, social security number, and 2 proofs of address. Metro officials want to hear from you on plans to revitalize the Belvedere downtown. Tonight is the first community engagement session to gather input from residents and local businesses on how the iconic space can be improved. Plans to revitalize the Belvedere have been in the works since 2023, and funding has been approved from both state and metro levels. Tonight's session is at Central High School from 5:30 to 6:30. There are 2 more sessions next Tuesday, the 21st, and the following Tuesday, the 28th.